I used to consider myself one of the biggest proponents of Spotify. I was like a super fan. Now, I'm not saying that there weren't people that listened to and used the service more than I did, but I feel like they weren't as engaged as I was. They would just turn it on in the background and not really pay attention and not really care what was coming on. And for the most part, maybe not even click favorite. It's just, it runs for hours and hours. But I was proactively consuming the recommendation list, the Discover Weekly, Release Radar. I loved them. I loved them so much because you would get 60 new recommendations a week with an artificial time limit. It was awesome. I loved the recommendation algorithm. And I loved making and sharing playlists and discovering new things that I'd never heard before. But there was this thing going on where hundreds of users over the course of years asked Spotify to remove the algorithm favoring things in shuffled playlists. And Spotify just flat out refused year after year. And this wasn't like a few fringe users. I'm talking hundreds of users over a 7 or 8 year period were just begging Spotify. We're saying, listen, you can have a smart shuffle. It can be the default. Just give us a way to turn it off. And the answer repeatedly was no, 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 no. And then one day, to add insult to injury, I was trying to listen to a playlist and just randomly shit that I didn't want to hear was appearing in there because it was a new feature that had to be turned off individually for every single playlist. So you couldn't just turn it off once, you had to turn it off everywhere. I thought it was a power thing, but with this new conspiracy with shell corporations and fake artists, it sounds like maybe it was a money thing. They want to get you to stream things that they don't have to pay for, and they want to do it in a sneaky way. And they know that if shuffle is turned on, then you don't really know what is supposed to come on next. So they can put whatever they want in there, and there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, sure, you can go to the suggestion forum and say, hey, can you make the service work the way that we want to make it work? And they can tell you no repeatedly. I think that the recommendations forum is actually kind of a control mechanism because they can take an idea that they don't want to implement, say that they're considering it, and then stall for like 20, 30 days and then say, oh, sorry, this was rejected, but higher up. It's just a bunch of BS. Look, I don't want to blow this out of proportion. I didn't get like PTSD or anything, but it was very mildly traumatic. I went once to an artist and I clicked the button to say, play the songs by this artist that I have liked. And I knew about the problem with the shuffle mechanism. I knew that it grouped similar artists together. And I said, you know what? For this specific case, it doesn't matter. Because before then I'd been vetoing boycotting the shuffle button. But for this case, it doesn't matter, right? And it played songs that I knew that I hated. And so I was sitting there thinking to myself, it's like, why did I click favorite on this song that I know that I hate? And I didn't. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give it a second shot. I gave it a second shot. It wasted like 4 minutes of my life. I went to unfavorite it and it wasn't favorited. And then I just had to go down this rabbit hole of what the hell is Spotify doing? And apparently what Spotify was doing was trying to get me to go to Apple Music, and it took a while, and I guess they succeeded. So congratulations to them and their corporate geniuses. So yeah,